it fucking blew my mind. Like, that's not what I was expecting from him at all.
No, I was expecting doing back arches and all that at a young age and starting freestyle at a young age. Because if you watch him wrestle and you see his throws, that's what it looks like. It looks like he's been doing that his whole life. And for him to say 6th grade, it's like you come on and you do a podcast with someone, you research a little bit before you do it, and then they blow your mind with something like that. And to go back to what you say, and something we touch on all the time, is about the time machine. I think the time machine is us going to a wrestling program, hopefully connecting with Reece's dad and helping, right? That's the time machine, because we both know there's a lot of the same shit that, you know, you're 20, 30 years removed, I'm 10, 20 years removed. It's still the same shit. You know what I mean? It's still, you know, you have someone like Brian, and, you know, I was talking to him today, I'll always put him over in anything he needs, because if I was a wrestling coach, I don't want to be putting that message out. I would want to be like that, you know, that guy who's out there being a positive experience for kids and not making it all about wins and losses. I think that's the biggest detriment you can do to a kid is make it about getting your hand raised.
Right, and you know, everything that Brian said on that podcast, you know, resonated with us, and there are too many coaches that are not like that, and they make it about the wins and losses, or they make it about themselves and their legacy as a coach. That was one of the things that he said, was like, it doesn't matter what my win and loss record is. You know, I want these kids to come away with this, with a good experience, being better human beings, learning how to strive and achieve for goals and work for goals, how to have that mindset, how to set those goals, you know, all that sort of stuff. Man, like, we need more of that. We need more Reece Humphrey. We need more PD3, guys like that are more Mike Mouws, like people that are out there promoting the sport, and less kids that are so burnt out but are still winning state titles on fumes, because they're not giving back to the sport because they fucking hate the sport.
If anything, they're taken away because someone has a conversation with them or goes up to them, oh, you're a state champ. Fuck that sport. You know what I mean? And, I mean, I'm not going to lie, man. There was a long period of my life where I just wanted to be Beaver. I just wanted to be that dude who walked away from it, never looked back at it, and shit on it. But at the end of the day, wrestling is such a part of who I am. That's just not me, you know? As much as I could want to surround myself around it, like, at the end of the day, what's going to get me out of a dark hole is the fact that I'm a wrestler and the lessons I've learned from wrestling. And that's why I'm so appreciative of it. That's why I want to get more guys like Reece, more guys like Brian on. Because, you know, we have a platform and we can provide with, hey, this is your perception of the sport. We're going to turn it on its head and show you a whole other side of it and a life-changing side of it.
Yeah. And it is any athletic endeavor.
It's just close to my heart.
Especially individual athletic endeavors, you know, like team sports. Not that there's not a team component to wrestling or to running, or swimming, you know what I mean? But for the most part, those sports where it's me against you, whether, you know, it's wrestling or running or whatever, it's an individual thing. I feel there's a lot more life lessons that come about from that, and things you can learn about yourself, what you need, what your strengths, what your weaknesses are, what things you need to work on. Those lessons are what's the word I'm looking for? They're invaluable.
Yeah, I don't know if I've touched on this before, but
man, you touch on a lot of shit.
I get touchy, bro. I get touchy with the feels. I'm all touchy-feely today. When me and Gucci were coaching with Mike at Middlesex, we had a wrestler come up to us, and at the time we were, you know, preaching, you know, this sport is going to give you life-changing experiences. It's going to help you throughout all the hard times in your life. And that kid came up to us, and he was one of those kids that won a state championship on fumes. And he was just like, can you give me an example? Like, just give me one example where the sport helped you, because I'm sick of hearing coaches say that. And now I feel like I could write the Bible on it. At that time, it was like, you know, had a half-ass answer. But now, you know, 10 years older, I feel like I have a whole lifetime of examples of how I've been able to use wrestling to get to better places or use it in situations, where I maybe without wrestling, I'm not going to do or perform the same. But it goes back to you saying, what happens when you get punched in the face? When I get punched in the face, those wrestler instincts come out. When life gets fucked, those wrestler instincts come out. And, that's why I'll always mark out, and that's why I'll always put guys like Reece and Brian over, because they have that experience, and that maybe something I say doesn't resonate in someone listening to this podcast, but something one of those guys say resonates in them.
100%. So if you're a wrestler, you do some cool shit, slide into those DMs. We'll get you on the podcast. PD3, we want you. Tyler Graff, Nick Suriano, Anthony Ashnault, Bryce Meredith, any of the guys from the NJRTC. Coach Scott Goodall, where you at? We want you. Coach Chris Ayers, Team New Jersey back in the day.
Joe Dubuque, where you at, dog? Yo, I want the
1993.
I want the Joe Dubuque, take him down, let him up, man. The best. One of the,
2 for 1.
I'm saying Joe Dubuque was one of the best New Jersey high school wrestlers I've ever seen. He might not be on the level of Damian Hong, because I think he only won 2 times. But, man, Joe Dubuque, I forget who he wrestled a kid from Walk Hill Valley the one year, and at the end of the match, I thought the kid was going to commit suicide because Joe Dubuque was being Joe Dubuque, and he was one of those guys that in college, and same in high school, the first 2 years, like what's going on? Why isn't he winning? And then he comes and he wins 2 in both high school and college, and looks unstoppable. But yeah, let's get Joe Dubuque on this bitch.
We'll get them all.
Yeah,
we'll get them all, little by little, one by one. That's what we do at Airey Bros Radio. This has been another episode. Hope that you all enjoy it. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, feedback, slide into those DMs. Subscribe on iTunes. Give us a review. We got people all over the place. Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, Mixcloud. Not on SoundCloud, but yeah. Give us some love. Tell us what you think, even if you think we suck. Yeah, we want to hear it.
Rate, review, let us know you're listening, and if you got friends, share. Share. Give us a repost. Hey, you want to get on the podcast? Give us a couple reposts. Get us a couple followers. We'll get you on here.
Until next time, it's your boy, Rich Airey, a.k.a. the 100-Mile Dick, and my dance partner, as always,
is Prince James. We're coming to you from Metropolitan State University. As always, it was a pleasure.
And don't forget, when everybody does better, everybody does better. Much love. Namaste.